All right, let's see how sharp you really are. Imagine a serious issue has just been discovered inside an organization. Who needs to know? How quickly should they be told? And what happens if the warning never reaches the right person? Today, we're testing your knowledge of escalation procedures. 10 questions. No hints. No second chances. I'll give you the statement. You decide, fact or fiction? Think fast. Trust your instincts. And keep score, because some of the most dangerous escalation failures begin with decisions that seem completely reasonable. Ready? Let's test your knowledge. Question 1. Here's your first statement. An issue should be escalated only when it has already caused serious financial loss, legal action, or reputational damage. The answer is fiction. This sounds cautious, but waiting for serious damage defeats the purpose of escalation. Escalation procedures are designed to bring important risks to the attention of the right people before, or as soon as, the situation becomes serious. A suspected data breach, control failure, safety concern, regulatory violation, fraud indicator, or major service disruption may need to be escalated even when the full impact is still unknown. The organization may not yet have all the facts, but decision makers might need to preserve evidence, protect customers, notify specialists, restrict system access, or activate an incident response plan. Early escalation does not mean declaring that a disaster has occurred. It means making sure that a potential threat is assessed by someone with the authority and expertise to respond. Waiting for proof of serious damage can turn a manageable warning into a full-scale crisis. Question 2. Next statement. A strong escalation procedure should identify triggers, responsible people, communication channels, and expected response times. The answer is fact. This is true because telling employees to escalate important issues is not enough. A practical procedure should explain what types of events require escalation, how severity is determined, who must be contacted, which channel should be used, and how quickly action is expected. It should also provide alternatives if the normal contact is unavailable or is involved in the issue. For example, a moderate operational problem might be reported to a department manager within 1 business day. A suspected cyber attack, safety threat, or serious misconduct allegation may require immediate notification through an emergency channel. Without defined thresholds and responsibilities, employees may hesitate, send the warning to the wrong person, or assume that someone else is handling it. Clarity creates speed, and during a serious incident, speed can prevent harm. Question 3. Let's continue. If an employee tells their direct manager about a serious issue, the employee's responsibility is complete, even if the manager takes no action. The answer is fiction. Reporting the issue to a manager may be the correct first step, but a reliable escalation procedure cannot depend on one person always responding correctly. If the issue remains unresolved, the employee may need to use a secondary route, such as a senior manager, compliance officer, risk function, human resources team, security team, ethics hotline, or whistleblowing channel. This is sometimes called an escalation ladder. The procedure should explain when someone must move to the next level, especially if the original recipient fails to acknowledge the report within the required time frame. There must also be a safe route around the normal hierarchy when a manager is unavailable, has a conflict of interest, or may be connected to the concern. A warning that reaches the wrong desk is not the same as a warning that reaches the right decision maker. Question 4. Pay attention to this one. An anonymous report should not be escalated until the organization discovers who submitted it. The answer is fiction. The identity of a reporter can sometimes help an investigation, but it should not determine whether the concern is taken seriously. An anonymous report may contain specific, credible, and urgent information about fraud, harassment, corruption, safety risks, data misuse, conflicts of interest, or other misconduct. The organization should assess the content of the report, not simply the identity of its source. That assessment may consider the seriousness of the allegation, the level of detail provided, whether supporting evidence exists, and whether the information can be independently verified. Anonymous reports can be incomplete or malicious, so they should not automatically be treated as proven facts, but ignoring them can be equally dangerous. The correct response is a fair, confidential, and proportionate assessment, not automatic dismissal. Question 5. We're halfway there. The urgency of an issue and the severity of its potential impact are not always the same. The answer is fact. This distinction is essential. Severity measures how serious the consequences could be. Urgency measures how quickly action is required. An issue can be severe but not immediately urgent. For example, a major contractual weakness that must be corrected before an agreement renews in 3 months. Another issue might have a smaller expected impact but require immediate attention, such as a temporary system problem that could spread rapidly if it is not contained. Effective escalation procedures consider both dimensions. They may also evaluate legal obligations, customer impact, financial exposure, safety concerns, operational disruption, reputational risk, and the possibility that the problem could become worse. If every issue is categorized using only one measure, the organization may respond too slowly to developing threats or overreact to matters that can be handled through normal operations. Question 6. Let's raise the difficulty. Once automated alerts and escalation workflows are installed, human judgment is no longer necessary. The answer is fiction. Automation can make escalation faster and more consistent. A system can detect missed deadlines, unusual transactions, control exceptions, cybersecurity events, or repeated service failures. It can then send alerts, create cases, assign owners, and move unresolved matters to a higher authority. But automation depends on the rules, thresholds, and data behind it. A poorly configured system may generate so many alerts that employees begin ignoring them. This is known as alert fatigue. It may also miss a serious event that falls outside its program criteria or escalate an issue without understanding the surrounding circumstances. Human judgment remains necessary to interpret evidence, assess context, identify conflicts of interest, and decide what action is proportionate. The strongest approach combines automated speed with informed human oversight. Question 7. This one catches people off guard. An escalation is complete as soon as a senior leader has been notified. The answer is fiction. Notification is only the beginning. A complete escalation process should record who received the issue, when it was acknowledged, who owns the response, what immediate actions were taken, and when the issue is expected to be resolved. Serious matters may require investigation, containment, legal review, customer communication, regulatory reporting, corrective action, or senior governance oversight. The organization should also maintain an audit trail showing how decisions were made and why. If responsibility is unclear after notification, the issue can remain unresolved while everyone assumes someone else is handling it. That is one of the most common dangers in escalation management. Escalation is complete only when the matter has been appropriately assessed, assigned, acted upon, tracked, and formally closed, or transferred into another controlled process. Question 8. Stay focused. A near miss may need to be escalated even when no customer, employee, or asset was harmed. The answer is fact. A near miss is an event that could have caused harm but did not, sometimes only because of luck, timing, or an unofficial intervention. For example, an employee might stop a confidential document moments before it is sent to the wrong recipient. A payment control weakness might be discovered just before an unauthorized transaction is approved. Or a system failure might occur during a low traffic period and avoid disrupting customers. No damage occurred, but the underlying vulnerability may still exist. Escalating near misses helps an organization identify weak controls before the same problem happens again under less fortunate circumstances. It also reveals patterns that individual departments might not notice. One near miss may look insignificant. 10 similar near misses across the organization may signal a major systemic risk. Question 9. If too many issues are being escalated, employees should be told to use more personal judgment and report fewer concerns. The answer is fiction. A high volume of escalations can create noise, delay decisions, and overwhelm senior personnel. But simply telling employees to report less can create a culture of silence. People may begin withholding genuine concerns because they fear being criticized for overreacting. The better solution is to examine why the volume is high. The thresholds may be unclear. Routine operational issues may be reaching senior leaders because there are no intermediate levels. Duplicate alerts may be generated by disconnected systems. Or the organization may have a genuine pattern of control failures that deserves attention. A well-designed structure uses different escalation levels, filters, owners, and response times. It separates matters that can be handled locally from those requiring specialist, executive, or board-level attention. The goal is not fewer warnings at any cost. The goal is getting the right warning to the right person at the right time. Question 10. This is the final question, and it's the one that surprises most people. A strong escalation procedure protects senior decision-makers, not by keeping bad news away from them, but by ensuring that important bad news reaches them early enough to act. The answer is fact. This is true, and it reveals the real value of escalation. Some organizations believe senior leaders should be shielded from incomplete information, operational problems, or potentially embarrassing concerns. But when significant risks are filtered, delayed, or softened as they move through the hierarchy, leaders may be forced to make decisions using an inaccurate picture of the organization. They may discover a serious issue only after customers are harmed, regulators become involved, evidence disappears, or the story becomes public. A strong escalation procedure gives leaders timely visibility while still separating confirmed facts from assumptions. It identifies what is known, what remains uncertain, what action has already been taken, who owns the response, and what decision is required. This does not mean reporting every minor problem directly to the board. It means defining thresholds so that matters with potentially serious consequences cannot be quietly buried. The best escalation cultures do not punish people for delivering uncomfortable information in good faith. They encourage people to speak up, challenge assumptions, document concerns, and continue escalating when a serious risk remains unresolved. Because governance does not fail only when people make the wrong decision. Sometimes it fails because the people responsible for making the decision never receive the warning. All right, how did you do? Drop your score in the comments. Be honest. Did anonymous reports, automated alerts, or near misses catch you out? 8 or more? You're ahead of most people. 10 out of 10? You may already think like a governance professional. Less than that? Now you know what others don't. Send this challenge to a colleague and see who scores higher. Hit like, subscribe, and come back for the next MPG Factor Fiction Challenge. Because when a serious warning appears, knowing who needs to hear it and how quickly can change everything. Because knowing more is how you stay ahead.